Welcome into 615 Preps Live Week 2 edition. Boys, how we doing? No Chris Brooks tonight, but everybody else is here, including Tyson Moody, who will be filling in for Chris. Gentlemen, Week 1's in the books. How we feeling?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Football's finally back.
And football weather evidently is back.
Football weather is back, yeah.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah, this Friday's going to feel great. And I think there's a lot of teams out there that are probably more ready for this Friday than they were last Friday, just because there were several teams that we saw in the area that went through a bunch of mistakes, whether that be turnovers or penalties. So a lot to clean up around the mid-state.
And Isaac, you and I were out there Friday night, and we didn't think that game was ever going to end.
The first quarter probably saw like 10 penalties within the span of like 5 minutes. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, a lot of early season mistakes as to be expected. Not a ton of upsets. We had a couple of ones, and outside of that, nothing really outside of it. So really good week 1. Again, no Chris tonight. He's not feeling well, so hopefully you see him Friday night. I think he'll be back, and we'll get this one going. Just your guys' overall week 1 thoughts. Scott and Isaac, you kind of talked about your game a little bit, but Cam, you were at the big one, Oakland CPA. Just talk to us a little bit about that and just what you're thinking now that we're a couple days past it.
Yeah, I think that both teams are still trying to figure some things out offensively. You know, CPA is trying to replace the quarterback there with Jack Van Norman in there at quarterback, and showed some glimpses in the first half. But I was very, very impressed with Oakland's defense to be able to replace as many guys as they did. Craig Tutt in that stud Bronco role where he's kind of moving around the field and kind of all over the place. Joel White at safety coming down and lowering the boom a couple times on Rawls Patterson. And then on offense, you know, Oakland seems like they have more weapons than Coach Kevin Creasy's ever had there in Murfreesboro. So very impressed with the Patriots. But if you're a Lions fan, I don't think there's no need to panic. You know, for that to be his first start, I thought Van Norman played pretty good, and you got one of the best, if not the best, receiver in the state, and Nolan Cabell. So,
before we get going, I just want Matt to know that we played for a national title. You root for a team that can't win in football, and Beach lost last week. Back to week 2, Tyson, your alma mater in a defensive slugfest. They pull one out. I know you didn't get to go, but your takeaways from that game.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked, because with fall camp, that was really the only game I was getting any updates on. I wasn't able to watch the game even online, but I was getting text updates every play in the last 2 minutes. But from what I've heard, like from players, like that Smyrna team was not as good as the score showed. Brentwood's just got a lot of growing pains. You know, it happens when you graduate a lot of players. It's been happening the last couple of years. Teams have done better than others, and we're just hoping this team can, you know, keep their head above water.
Yeah, I think it's a Brentwood team that we do have some questions about, just because they've graduated quite a bit. And J.C. White's no longer there. He's at Lipscomb Academy, so your quarterback position's in limbo. And this is a Smyrna team. Again, we say we don't take a lot of stakes into scrimmages that played well with Beach. So they can put up points. Just a defensive slugfest week 1. It was just one of those ugly games. And Isaac or Tyson, your team came out on top. So Isaac, Scott, Gallatin looks the part.
Absolutely. I mean, I said it a little bit on our the post-game little recap that we did on live before my internet just gave out on me. But Gallatin just came out, first play of the game. Jackson Strupp just drops back and drops the 30-yard dime. 2 more passes, and they were down the field within less than 30 seconds that they score. They were clicking on all cylinders. There were a few penalties, but as far as like executing plays, Gallatin just looked almost perfect in every aspect of the game.
Yeah, the weapons that Stroud has around him this year are excellent. Um, yeah, he goes 245 touchdowns. I said, it started from the first play. Didn't really let up, but we all knew that Keyshawn Barksdale was going to be a force coming over from Davis Academy, but really impressed with Malachi Harper, the running back there. They have and Preston Mooney, the tight end. There's a player at every skill position there for Stroud to choose from.
Yeah, I thought they looked really good when I saw them the week before against Springfield. It just seems like last year was kind of a blip. Um, Started off the year bad, just never recovered. And they're in a region now where Green Hill, I think we all kind of assume they look the part. They're the favorite in that region. Who's going to win that second seed? I think Gallatin's right there in the mix now. So I was at Springfield Rossview. Springfield took care of business. Not the prettiest game by the Yellow Jackets, but week one, you always want to come out on top, and they did so in a dominant fashion overall. Outside of that, I mean, from you guys, any other week one games you want to talk about before we really get going into the rest of the show?
Yeah, in my opinion, maybe one of the more surprising results there was the shootout between Stewart's Creek and Centennial.
Mm-hmm.
Centennial team, Mitchell Grangine transfers from Page, and he has a monster night. But he's outscored by Jamarcus Brown and the rushing attack from Stewart's Creek. So that would have been a really, really fun game to be at. But definitely surprised that both teams scored that many points in a week one game with so many changes and so much turnover in those two programs.
I would have to look at the Cannon County game, their dominance over Monterey in that week one matchup. Really came out. Eli Garrett had a really good game there at quarterback, 3 touchdowns. But Cannon County starts off, I believe it was 31-0. It was just a shutout of Monterey. I think a pretty good statement for Cannon County coming up. And Joe, you were at Macon County.
Yeah, I really enjoyed my first trip to Lafayette. Sorry, my cats are having a Royal Rumble at the moment. I really enjoyed my first trip to Lafayette. It is an unbearably long drive. Scott, I don't know how you make it. I'm more impressed with you after that trip. Really great atmosphere. It seemed when you think of like high school football games out of like movies where the crowds are insane and they're doing all the fun small town. That's Lafayette. That's Macon County to a T. It's a shame, the middle of their stands have been condemned, but they still showed out. They kind of filled up both sides, and Fulton, once they got down, Macon just pounced, and I think Macon will be just fine. Like we said on Saturday, they built something there that they're just gonna keep building upon that and doing what they've been doing, and so Carter says on here, Macon County has one of, if not the best student sections. Respectfully, he's right. The only ones that rival them, I think, are the Williamson County schools, from what I've seen.
I mean, as far as like taking size of student section into account, it's definitely one of the best around.
Yeah.
Well, and especially for Tyson and you, Joe, being special teams connoisseurs, what a night for Eli Gammon.
Good.
Yeah. Practice makes perfect. Those pooch kicks that really turned the game around, and where you had a 14-point swing in 12 seconds, and then they did it 2 other times. Just amazing.
Somebody's asking how we're not going to talk about PCA in Eagleville because we all missed it. Sorry, I guess.
I was actually thinking about that. I think didn't we all pick Eagleville for that?
Yeah, it is what it is. Not.
Yeah, and
I really didn't lose any sleep over it, admittedly.
But kudos to PCA. They are a young program.
We talked about it
is on the way up.
Yeah, we talked about it Saturday. Said they're a program on the way up. Simple as that.
And I think it's time for. I think I need to just step out and do a little bit of disclaimer. It's hard for us to analyze a game if we don't receive stats. And so if we don't talk about your team, odds are it's because we haven't had a chance to analyze the statistics and really understand what went on. And that's what we're missing We missed, a lot of teams, with week one, a lot of changes in personnel. We just didn't get the statistics. So we are, so let me just call it. If we don't roll out a stat or if we miss somebody on player of the week, that's simply because we didn't receive the statistics from that particular game.
Yes, and for the fans, that don't mean that it's all on the coach. Some teams have stat guys that do it that are not on the coaching staff. Some guys, it is the head coach. If you're a player watching, say, hey, I had a pretty good night. Could you send my numbers to 615preps@gmail.com? It's that simple.
Yep. But we would appreciate them if you get them in because we love to talk about them.
All right. So with that out of the way, let's talk about some rankings. Not a whole lot of movement in the rankings this week. CPA drops down a spot. Innsworth moves up. Riverdale drops out of the top 5, and Brentwood Academy now after they dominate in that game. They were right there on the cusp. I thought maybe they should have been a top 5 team, and they're solidly in there. A lot of D2 AAA representation in here, but then Oakland and Ravenwood at the top. Any thoughts regarding the rankings outside of Tyson hating to see Ravenwood at number 2?
Yeah, I think that's right where it needs to be. I thought the top 3 teams had really impressive wins. And then, of course, CPA lost to Oakland, which is our 1. And then Brentwood Academy, done what they should have done against Lawson. So it was a good week for all 5 teams in our top 5. And I think all 5 teams are deservingly in the top 5.
Yeah, Ravenwood had a very big statement win against Madison Ridgeland. I know they're a great team back in their home state, but it looked like Ravenwood definitely earned that number 2 spot, as much as it hurts to say.
All right, let's go on the medium class rankings. And again, not a whole lot of changes here except Macon County hopping into the top 5. And a lot of that is simply because the teams that were ahead of them either lost or really struggled last week.
And I think you also have to take into account, they are the reigning defending 4A state champions, and until somebody beats them, you got to give them a little bit of respect there. They've earned it. So again, the medium class rankings here, I think we're right where we need to be. Maybe one of the most dominant offensive performances from BGA in week 1. I thought they were what they probably are going to be the rest of the year, and that's just a total juggernaut on the offensive side of the ball. FRA struggled in the first half, but their 2 stud players, Mike Hassel and Amari Sanders, turned it on in the second half and pulled away with a big win. And Page done a unconvincingly unnormal thing for Page, and they outscored somebody in week 1 with a few guys out. So Page team scoring 47 points is not what everybody in 5A wants to see. So, and of course, Springfield, Joe, you were there. Good opening round win, good opening week win for them over a Rossview team. And then, of course, Macon County, the defending 4A state champs, make the list.
It's hard to you can't put a lot of stock in a week 1 result because it is a week 1 result. However, you have to go off of something. And I think that, this list is exactly where it should be.
Thanks. I put my heart and soul into this, so I appreciate it.
I know you did.
In that case, I think it's all wrong.
Isaac, I just need you to know that Watertown lost yet again.
Thank you for
small class ranking. It's okay. My alma mater lost too. I don't want to talk about it. Nashville Christian still up top after an offensive explosion. Shocker. East Robertson bumped them up to 2 despite the fact that Liberty Creek took them to overtime, and that's because, East Nashville lost. I know they lost to Collierville. I'm not going to drop them a whole lot. Friendship Christian looked really impressive over some made-up team, and then Gordonsville with the rain-shortened, weather-shortened win against Coalfield. So overall thoughts on these rankings?
Yeah, I know some people are going to be kind of scratching their head on East Robertson moving up after a unexpected close game against Liberty Creek. But it's real simple. If you follow our rankings last year, the year before last, Joe is the majority voter on that, but it's result based. We all agree on that. We all support that. And the fact is, East Nashville lost last week. East Robertson won last week.
Yeah, I mean that's as simple as that. Honestly, I don't understand why it's so hard to understand. Like, if Alabama loses or Georgia or Tennessee, oh my gosh, I have to address something. Isaac, did you see it?
Yeah.
So football season 2024 on Instagram. I hate how everyone is hating on Trousdale. Like, I know we had a bad year last year, but we were definitely way better than last year. I mean, I know we lost to Friendship, but we have a whole season to prove people wrong. Nobody said you didn't. It's an inside joke. I don't believe Trousdale County exists because that's all for the first year I was here. That's all Cam talked about. It's a joke. It's a joke.
You probably are better. It's inside jokes. We like making fun of each other.
Yep. It's inside jokes.
Gosh.
Don't worry. There'll be a day very, very soon that I will talk about Trousdale all the time again.
Yeah,
I
today.
won't be here.
That is today.
Overall, I mean, not a whole lot of changes in the rankings this week. It is what it is. However, Scott hinted at it earlier. We need stats. We need stats, and we need stats because we need to know who the Player of the Week nominees are.
Yep.
This year we're doing something a little different. Scott, talk a little bit about it. 3 stars of the week.
First of all, am I coming through?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yep.
Okay, good deal. I had to switch microphones. Yeah, what we're doing this year we want to give it back to the people a little bit. We're doing the 3 stars of the week. So basically, we're going to identify a group of players based upon their performance on the week, and then we are going to throw it out to the people. That's right, just like Bain said, you, the people. And you guys get to vote on it, and that will be our 3 stars of the week, just like you would see in Predators hockey.
Yeah, something a little different to really highlight, the kids a little better. Let's go ahead and look at our nominees that you'll be able to vote on, I believe, starting tonight, tomorrow. When did he say it started?
I believe that he was going to put it out tomorrow. We wanted to announce it first so people would know what was going on with it and why we just didn't announce it on the show. It's because we wanted to get it back out there, but we wanted to make sure we communicated to you guys so you knew what to do.
Yeah, everything he said. It goes out. It'll go out, I believe, tomorrow morning. Scott, you put together these lists after getting what you could. Talk to us a little bit about some of these guys. Actually, I lied. It's out now. It came out today.
Now? Okay.
So get to voting. Demarcus Brown, Stewart's Creek, 36 carries, 258 yards, and 4 touchdowns in a 39-36 win over Centennial. Huge game. The opposite side of that, Mitchell Grandjean making his first start for the Cougars. He goes 13 of 16 for 341 yards, 4 touchdowns. He also had 6 carries, 81 yards, and another touchdown. Massive game for him. Kane Marable, 10 of 13, 293 yards and 4 touchdowns. He also was effective on the ground, rushing for five times for 96 yards and 2 more touchdowns in a 48-13 win over Jackson Prep. Jaden McGowan at Friendship Christian ran all over Cam's Imaginary High School, 17 carries, 223 yards and 4 touchdowns in a 34-7 win. Lamario Nichols at MTCS. He was only 3 of 5 passing, but 2 of those passes were for touchdowns. He also ran the ball 8 times and scored 3 touchdowns on those 8 carries. Jackson Strout, 23. He was 23 of 23. That's not right.
No, he's 23-28.
23-29 for 240 yards and 5 touchdowns in the Greenways 44-28 win over Hendersonville. And TCU running back commit TJ Ward said he was going to rush for 2,000 yards this year. 11 carries for 294 yards and 4 touchdowns. He also had a catch for 13. Could have been him or Jared Curtis. We lean TJ this week.
Yep,
Yeah,
and
let me address.
we'd be remiss to not mention on here a couple things. The first thing, once a player, I believe we're doing it this way. Scott, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but once a player wins one of the 3 stars of the week, that player then is not eligible for the rest of the season until the postseason. And then sponsorships. We need a sponsor for this award. Reach out to me, Scott, DM us. Reach out to any of us, really. DM us on our personal accounts, our 615 Preps account. We will put it on you. We'll make the price whatever it needs to be to get a sponsor for this.
Yep.
I don't disagree with Dustin. Avery Hughes did have a big week for Portland, but coach has got to send us stats, man. It does get better as the season moves on, but it's got to get us stats. DM me if you're a player, DM me your stats. Simple as that. That way Scott can sift through them and all that fun stuff.
And that goes for all of us. I know Joe has more followers than all of us because he talks about so much more stuff. But, DM any of us. It'll get where it needs to be.
Yep. Yeah, I will pour over these things. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. Outside of that, Scott, we're still doing line of the week, but this is a Scott Burton selection.
Yeah, that's right. And these are my guys. These are the guys that go home every week with their shirts dirty to keep other people clean. These are the hogs, the defense, the offense, the heart of any football team. And this week it's Friendship Christian's offensive line. They blocked for 302 yards rushing on 27 carries. That's an 11.2 yards per carry average. Jeez. 5 touchdowns. That it seems like every year Friendship Christian's offensive line stands out, and this week no different.
So big game for the Commanders. They look the part yet again. Simple as that. Sorry, Cam. However, gentlemen, we didn't get everything right last week. As much as I would like to say we did, we didn't. So I guess it's time to bring back the segment where everybody likes to see us grovel and apologize. Who wants to go first?
I'll take the honor.
All right. It's Isaac.
The dishonor.
Well, maybe Isaac will be able to get it to you. Who knows? Mind you, here we go. Isaac, all you.
So this week I'm apologizing to the Oakland High School Patriots. Usually what I've been doing is I have a little clip, or if you haven't watched the show in a while, I have a little clip or a little video I put together with a running joke of CPA man threatening me because I picked against CPA one time and it went horribly for me. So this week I had to, follow his orders, and you can't pick against CPA when you got CPA man running you down. So that's what I did, and it didn't work out. He lied to me. I forgot that there's an equally powerful juggernaut over Murfreesboro, and while I don't like picking against Engel Martin, you also don't like picking against Kevin Creasy. So I am deeply sorry I allowed my fear of CPA man to get to me, and I will rethink my choices in the future.
Yeah, I guess I'll go next.
All right. Hold on, Cam. This is fun. I enjoy doing everything. It's the best. Cam, all you.
Yeah, NBA. I picked the Firebirds last week, and I tried to get approval, but I didn't get approval on what I wanted to do. But let's just say I didn't pick the Big Red, so no, can't do that. Can't say that. I didn't pick the Big Red, so shame on me. I apologize to you guys. You guys come out and knocked off Pearl Combe for the second year in a row. NBA is hearing all the Ainsworth talk and all the Brentwood Academy talk, and they're sitting there and they're saying we're a big time private school in Nashville too. So NBA, I don't think this is the last noise we hear out of them, but got it wrong in week 1. Way to go, Big Red.
Yeah, that's one a lot of us got wrong, unfortunately, and
Yeah.
Not me.
no one cares.
I believe in you, Big Red.
No one likes you, Isaac. I'll go next. Oh man, Stewart's Creek. What can I say? I'm a fool. I'm a big dumb idiot. I'm a stupid, doesn't know it all. This really doesn't hit without the music. Chris didn't show me how to do the music. Anyway, it'll be back. It'll be back to normal next week. Stewart's Creek, I'm sorry. Hell of a win. Really impressed by that, and shouldn't have picked against you. Simple as that. That's all you get. I'm not doing much more.
Minimalist.
Yeah, no. Do I really care? Not really. Tyson, your go.
Oh gosh. So I was. I'm gonna wait. I'll wait.
You're good.
Portland. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, you guys really proved me wrong. 36-0 over White House in a rivalry game. I don't know what I thought. I think just with the uniform rankings fresh on my mind, I wanted White House to be good because they look good. But there's really nothing to say except I was dead wrong. Portland is good. White House didn't look like it. I'm sorry, Portland. That's all I got.
Pretty good apology. Solid apology there. All right, Scott, wrap us up.
Oh my gosh, White's Creek. Oh man, I am so
Okay.
sorry. Oh, I should be purged. I should be flogged. I should be made to feel pain. That being said, I'm going to take a jalapeno juice shot because of this. Just to let you know how truly sorry I am. Gosh, the things I do for this. Here we go.
Oh, all right.
Oh,
All right.
Wow.
All right.
oh gosh. All right, I'm not picking against White's Creek anymore. Oh, White's Creek, Cobra Kai. I am so sorry.
The only thing that would have made it better
You
is if
don't
you poured it
know.
on your eyes.
No.
He'll pick against them in about 3 weeks. It's fine.
He'll
That
never
was
learn
a
his
lot.
lesson.
No, never does. And Matt, you're right. It does get worse. All I enjoy is pain. It is what it is. So, gentlemen, we're kind of flying through this show. We're already on to the picks segment. I don't know how else to slow things down, but let's go ahead and look at and see how we did last week. Scott, are you going to make it? You going to live?
Well, Joe, we got to discuss our top 10 and then our best game not in the top 10 that we're most looking forward to. That's something we could talk about to buy some time.
Cam, there's not a top 10 graphic in here. I'm working with other guys.
Don't worry about the graphic. We'll make it up as we go. Hey, I got my voice back.
Yeah,
Joe, what is the game not in our top 10 that we're going to talk about in a minute that is most exciting to you?
I don't know. You guys, I'm trying to do a million things. You guys go.
Yeah.
Isaac.
Christ.
Well, not in the top 10 is probably going to be the one that I'm going to is Smyrna at Hendersonville. I'm very interested. One, because I just want to see what Smyrna is. I mean, they kind of ran into I want to see what Hendersonville is. They kind of ran into a little bit of a buzzsaw in Gallatin. I think Gallatin is for real this year. So I want to see what Hendersonville can do. I think they just kind of came out a little bit flat. I'd like to see them bounce back. And then Smyrna, I'd like to see if they are for real as much as they looked in the Brentwood game. I think we all agree Brentwood's going to be pretty good this year. They're hovering around in our top big large class teams. So for Smyrna to be able to hang in there, it's really impressive. So I'd like to see if they can keep that going. So it's just kind of a game that I'm excited to see what both teams are, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm going to go Beach Mount Juliet. Two teams coming off of a week 1 loss. Pretty ugly losses for both sides. Two teams trying to find their way. Beach, I think, a little more established with the guys they got. I think defensively, a lot of questions, but offensively, they're still pretty good. Mount Juliet, they just have a lot of questions. They graduated a ton. It's as simple as that. So Beach going to Mount Juliet before going back to Shackle Island next week for their home opener, newly renovated stadium and everything. So that's a big one. Both those teams need a win after a really, really slow start to the year. That Green Hill Beach game was not as close as the final score made it out to be. So,
Scott, who you got?
Just double check, make sure it wasn't on the list because it's a pretty big game, and that's Grace Christian and Milton C. Christian. Franklin Grace. I mean, these are two. You've got an offense with Ali Bangura that just absolutely will run you over with Milton C. Christian. Franklin Grace has a really good quarterback that is playing extremely well right now. And it's really interesting to me to see exactly, what these, which team comes out on top offensively. I just think it's a really good matchup. It's going to make for a good game, I think, offensively.
Yeah, I'm going to hit you with a few. I'm going to hit you with 3. The first one being Fairview at Centennial. I think that's got potential to be a really sneaky matchup. And the reason why that's got to be considered is Fairview likes to run the football. That's what Coach Hughes' teams do. And Centennial gave up nearly 300 yards rushing last week to a Sturridge Creek team. So I think that's another game that could be a shootout. Then you move down the list, and Joe, a couple of the scores that were surprising to us last week was Overton versus Hillsboro. And that being Hillsboro, loses to Kenwood 20-7, and then John Overton actually played Father Ryan to a decently close game. I think it was 24-7. I think was the final in that game last week. So big time rivalry game between those two metro schools, and then on down the list, Lincoln County at Independence. I know Lincoln County's not in our area. Scott Blade in Indy 2.0 got off to a big start last week with a big win over Rockville. Lincoln County knocked off Marshall County, which has Tyler Thompson returning, as well as some other players. That's the 4A Mr. Football winner last year returning for Marshall County, and Lincoln County knocked them off last week. So that's an intriguing matchup also in the area. But there's a lot of teams, as we said earlier, that are really trying to rebound from week 1 that just have a really bad taste in their mouth. Tyson, what are you looking forward to?
I mean, I think I'm really surprised none of y'all said it, but Brentwood Academy.
Well, we had to leave it. We had to leave it for you.
Yeah. I know it sounds like it's all I know about, but genuinely, I think this could be a really good game. Could be a bloodbath. There are a lot of question marks on Brentwood. I think Brentwood Academy showed that they are a force to be reckoned with against Lawson, but you look at the past 2 years, Brentwood Academy has been a close game. Obviously, in 2023, Brentwood was a state title contender. BA, was BA projected to be good that year?
2023.
2 years ago, yes.
That would have been George's sophomore year, yeah.
Yeah, Brentwood Academy was projected to be good. And then what happens? Brentwood beats them. And then last year, Brentwood is looking not so great, and BA is looking very good. And then what happens? It's BA wins, but it's really close. And so I think even though the skill gap seems like it's a lot bigger than it has been, I think Brentwood still has a chance, especially since it's played at James C. Parker, which statistically is one of the hardest places to win. for opposing teams.
Yeah, so that's a few games that we think in the area that did not make our top 10 that are worth being talked about. Blackman talk.
I mean, they had a really good win last week, and they're playing a team this week that they should dispatch of, I think, pretty easily. So,
yeah, tune in next week, and we'll be talking a lot about Blackman as they play Riverdale next week. But yeah, if you want to see our picks on those games that we just talked about, they will be out tomorrow, as well as all the other non-top 10 games in the 615 area code. Joe, we're ready.
All right, boys.
Wait a minute. Come back to Matt for a second. With that talk about should Shackle Island be panicked?
That's what
should Shackle Island be panicked? Is that your?
Yeah, that's the question for Matt.
Absolutely not. I think Green Hill is a pretty darn good football team. I think they're going to prove that throughout the season. Coach Crouch, scheduled up for that reason to try to get the Hawks ready for the postseason. Beach is going to be just fine. I think they have to find their identity on defense. I think they struggled adapting to what Green Hill was doing. And that happens when you have a first-time defensive coordinator and you replace 10 out of 11 starters on defense. It's week 1. No need to panic for the Bucks.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. They'll be fine. We said it last week. They're a team that'll be better by week 11 than they are now. So It's just one of those things. You lost so many pieces on it's so funny. People keep asking about games on Instagram that are in our top 10 games. We'll get to them here in a second. So, yeah, everybody's wondering about our top 10 games. We're probably going to go a little shorter tonight, guys, for the simple fact Chris is not here. And I'm trying to do a million things at once. So
we got your back, buddy. We got your back.
It is what it is. So, all right, we might as well just talk about our picks. Let's go ahead and see who we got this week. All right, gentlemen. Big Riverdale Gavin Hampton threw 4 interceptions.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, he also did that against one of the better defenses in D2 AAA. Secondary wise, I'm not too worried about him. We'll see. All right. So anyway, we kicked off week 1 with pretty good job, guys. I mean, overall,
I want them all again.
You don't get one. It's okay though. Got to give Isaac a big wolf shout out.
2 of them.
Yeah, lone wolf out here getting 2. Forrest and your other one I can't remember.
Stewart's Creek.
And I know there's probably some people out there that think Forrest is a Middle Tennessee team, but they're not a 615 area code team. Quincy Mitchell for them, 389 yards, I believe it was. Just an unbelievable performance from him.
Yeah, I made that mistake too when I first started doing stuff with 615 preps. I almost chose Forrest and something we were doing because they're so close. But yeah, they're just outside of the coverage area.
Yeah, no, really impressive win for the Rockets over Creekwood. That was a back and forth game, arguably one of the better games around. Let's go ahead and get into our picks. Kicking things off, Antioch at East Nashville. Connor going for the told you so right off the bat. For me, this was a hard game to pick.
Yes,
for sure.
Yeah.
2 really, really good teams, 6A versus 2A yet again. But East Nashville, I think, is a team that's proven that they can compete with 6A teams. I mean, they did it last week against they did it last week against Collierville, and they just kind of fell behind in the second half. They got a touchdown there late. It's tough, man. I mean, this one's hard. I just think East Nashville may be a little more established over the last couple of years. They have that foundation. Antioch's finding it, but this was a coin flip game to me.
Yeah. I think Collierville. We're gonna see as the year goes on that Collierville is going to be a pretty good 6A team out in West Tennessee, and the sheer fact that yes, Antioch is a 6A school too. They do not have the roster number that Collierville has. So I think that the depth factor is not going to be as big of an issue this week. And I think East Nashville struggled some on offense last week against Collierville, and I think they find a little bit of a groove in this game and outscore Antioch at home.
Well, yeah, East Nashville, yeah, they have that team speed, and watching. I watched a lot of the Antioch Mount Juliet game. Antioch's got to figure out some issues on their offensive line. Now, granted, Andre Adams had a field day running when things broke down, but they broke down early and often. I think East Nashville has the team speed to knock some of those runs down to get pressure on Andre Adams. Yeah, again, it's a really close game. It was hard to pick, and really could go either way. But I just like East Nashville speed, and coming off of that game against Collierville, I really like the fight that the Eagles have.
Yeah, I same with you guys. I agree. I think Collierville is going to go on to be a really good team this year, and Antioch's going to be good this year too. Looking at it, Antioch's got some skill, but East Nashville I think just has more top end skill, at least at several positions. So that's why I'm going with kind of a high scoring game here. But yeah, same thing. It's really a coin flip. I could see either team winning this.
Yeah, they've all given good reasons. So I'll just say last time I picked against East Nashville, big egg on my face as they absolutely destroyed White House Heritage in the playoffs last year.
I was really surprised that so many of us went East Nashville. I thought I might be the Lone Ranger here.
And as of right now, this will be mine and Connor's game on Friday night. As of right now, that is subject to change depending on how things play out over the next 48 hours.
Yep. Kind of shocked to see Connor being the one there. Let's go on to our next game. Springfield, Clarksville. We're all rolling with the Jackets. 102nd meeting, Battle of the Bridge. This is where I will be. It should be a pretty big game. Scott and I will be here. Second episode of Into the Hive will be focused on this game. That'll be out in 2 weeks because this is not an easy project, especially when I have technology that hates me. I'm really excited about this game. I've seen a lot of these teams over the last couple weeks, and I just Clarksville really struggled against Blackman. I know it's Blackman. They struggled to really move the ball against Blackman, but it is what it is. And Springfield, I think Coach Wilson will get those guys bouncing back. They played not a great game in the first half. Second half, just complete dominance. I think they get the trophy back finally. I think they get it back this year.
Yeah, and spoiler alert for all those interested in Into the Hive, this will be the most anticipated planned episode. Let's put it that way. We haven't decided, I don't think, if we're going to continue the project into the postseason with Springfield or not. But so there's another spoiler for you right there. Springfield will go with you until you lose. Yeah, this will be the best episode that we have planned. Joe's already put in countless hours on this episode. But as back to the football aspect of it, Joe, as you said, struggled in the first half. They found their gear in the second half. Last year, when that happened, they were finished the season 5-5, and they made a run all the way to the semifinals. And it took a unbelievable Page defense to keep them from making a run to Chattanooga. So when one of Coach Wilson's teams find their groove, they're extremely hard to beat.
Yeah. I think this is going to be an interesting game. It's good. Springfield's doing something that they haven't really done all that much. Is their passing game is really, really good. They had been for years a grind them, beat you up team. They still can do that, but they've added this passing attack, which is really dynamic. Clarksville is well known for their running game. They are a grinding team. Yeah, I think the battle to watch, though, in this game is going to be Jermaine Cobbins against Jamarcus Watkins. I think that you're really looking at the two best players on the field for both teams, and I think right now Springfield is just offensively, uh, head and shoulders, ahead of where they've been in the past. Defensively, they don't seem to be as affected as I thought they might be at the beginning of the year with the linebacker play. And so for that reason, I've got to go with the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, that reason right there is actually why I'm picking this game to be so close. Is I'm a little concerned as far as like Springfield's defense. But in the end, I think that they just have more top end skill than Clarksville does. Clarksville, I mean, I got to watch them in a scrimmage in the preseason, and they're just a tough team. I love the way that they play. And honestly, if this was at Clarksville, it might be a different story for me because their fans can get pretty interesting. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to stick with the area team, the team that I think has more top end talent.
Yeah, I think we all went a little high scoring wise this game. I do think Kason Woodson at quarterback for Springfield is a game changer, especially Rossview kind of really blanketed Jermaine, and then that's where Springfield tore him up on the ground. Can't really do that. They're a real balanced team now, so it'll be interesting to see. I'm excited to experience this one firsthand. Scott, I know you are as well. It should be a really, really fun time out there.
And what's that release time tomorrow, Joe?
6:30, 7. Depends on if I can ever get my hard drive to work. So anyway,
I'll be able to J.I. Baldwin's at some point tomorrow.
Yeah. Friday, you mean?
Yeah, Friday. If I go tomorrow, then I'll just have to go again Friday. Yeah.
Hey, it's good enough to go twice.
Yeah.
DCA
Jackson Christian, big D2 single A game, and I think we're all kind of in agreement here. We're trying to figure out which team in D2 single A is going to make that run at Nashville Christian. DCA opened up the year with a big win. Jackson Christian had a narrow win over Union City. I think I like the Wildcats here. I think it'll be a close one though.
Yeah, agreed. Having to go out to Jackson Christian is going to be a tall task. DCA lost Mitchell Carey. He's graduated. They have a new quarterback, but they also return a 4-star tight end that may be the best tight end in definitely the state as far as athleticism goes. And they return King Gardner at running back. They have another running back. I'm drawing a blank on his name right now at the moment, but he rushed for 100 yards last week. DCA has weapons. So I think that they score more than Jackson Christian.
Well, yeah, Jackson Christian Eagles were held to 199 yards total offense last week by Union City. Kingston Robinson's their do-it-all back, but he accounted for 90 of those 199 yards, both receiving and rushing. And, on the other hand, DCA had little trouble, and reads as no trouble with Tipton Rosemark last week. Blake Holton's a new quarterback over there, Cam. He threw for 203 yards and 2 scores. But I'm looking for another big night out of Grayson Scragg. I think at the wide receiver spot, he is very, very good. And I think that he will be hard to contain for Jackson Christian.
Yeah. Carson Sneed, I feel like, is going to be big problems for Jackson Christian. But also, I don't know too much about Jackson Christian. Got to pick the area team.
You know what? I respect that. I think that's...
When in doubt, pick the area team.
Yeah, it's kind of company policy.
Yeah.
I mean, historically, Jackson Christian, really good West Tennessee team. They're one of the better ones out there.
Did Jalen graduate?
Jalen graduated, yeah. So we shall see. We shall see how that goes. Next game, we're a little more split on, I believe. Father Ryan, Riverdale. Quite a few of you guys going Father Ryan, shockingly. Tyson? Why Father Ryan?
I don't know. I do feel like this is going to be a close game regardless. Riverdale just not a great showing last week against shoot, I'm blanking. Who'd they play? Knox Catholic.
Yeah.
Not a great showing against Knox Catholic. Father Ryan, they're playing Overton, but they still looked good against Overton. Obviously, there's going to be some growing pains with the new head coach, but Zach Mettenberger is a Titans legend, and I think Father Ryan comes out on top here.
I would say, I mean, yes, that Riverdale did not have a great showing against Knoxville Catholic, but I honestly think Knoxville Catholic, they're not going to make any challenges for a state championship, but I think they're going to be a lot better this year than most years.
Well, it's real simple. People are dogging Riverdale for that. Knox Catholic has a 4-star going to Notre Dame and a 4-star committed to Tennessee.
Yeah.
It's that simple. They have 2 elite athletes that are going to play big-time football. No slouch at all for Riverdale for losing last week. Did they play well? No, they didn't. But guess what? When you play athletes like that, you normally don't play well. But, yeah, I think his first start for Gavin Hampton last week, 4 interceptions. Not a good way to start. But, hey, it can't get much worse. So you got to turn, flip that on the right side. So, Riverdale scored 6 points. They had a lot of expectations coming into the season. They are not happy with the way they played last week, and rightfully so. But same thing goes for Father Ryan. I would say that Coach Mettenberger knows they weren't happy with the way they played last week either. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Father Ryan's actually a little banged up. They had an injury in the jamboree, and they have a player playing at not 100%, I believe. So I took that into account in my pick. But I think Riverdale bounces back. And I look for them to show some intensity and some hunger to try to get back on the right side of things before a huge region matchup next week against Blackman.
Well, as poor as Riverdale played, they were still in this game. Even late, they were driving before Hampton gave up a pick 6 that put the game away for Knox Catholic. But the Riverdale defense is still the Riverdale defense, and they played pretty well against those 4-star guys. It was really a 13 to 6 game for the most part. So if Gavin Hampton can cut down on turnovers, and I think he will, first game jitters and all that, lots of penalties, lots of personal foul, 15-yard type stuff that you just can't have against a good team. I think Riverdale bounces back. It's a great thing about scheduling something hard, and out of conference. So you lose, but you learn something. Well, Riverdale learned a lot about themselves, and I think that they bounce back from that even harder.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Knoxville Catholic as a whole is good. They're not bad. It's not a bad program. They've added quite a few pieces into the roster the last couple weeks or months. They'll be fine. Riverdale will be just fine. They've added quite a few too. It is what it is. Young quarterback playing against one of the better secondaries in the state. Nothing to freak out about, I think. Could be a good bounce back week, especially if Father Ryan is banged up, as we've all seen they are. All right, one we all agree on, Gallatin at Franklin. Coach Atkins going back to his old stomping grounds where he spent 5 years as a defensive coordinator. I like the Green Wave here. I think they showed a lot last week. This is one that I also could see us all being completely wrong on. Simple as that. This is an old school football game. 2 old programs going at it. It should be a fun one. So let me know what you guys think.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Jackson Strout last week. I actually saw an audio clip of him and his father, Coach Strout, talking before the game, and Coach Strout told Jackson, checkdowns equals touchdowns, and I thought he really took that and used it throughout the game. You didn't see him force it into a bunch of windows like we've seen from him a couple times in the past. If he stays in that mindset and he doesn't turn the ball over, Gallatin is definitely the favorite to be the 2 in that region.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they compete with Green Hill to be the 1 if he does not turn the ball over.
Yep.
I think that offense has that type of elite potential. Now you're going up against a Franklin team that won, I believe it was 20-0 or 20-7 last week. That's the way Franklin is going to have to win games this year. They don't have, at least not yet, the amount of weapons that they had last year. So they're going to rely on that defense to force turnovers and to get them points. So I think this is going to be a close game, but I think Gallatin does enough to win it.
Yeah, I admittedly might be a little bit too close to the situation, filming the love to hate with Gallatin and Hendersonville, but I am admittedly 100% drinking the Gallatin Kool-Aid this year. It's they following them before the season, like Kim was talking about. I was talking to Coach Strout about Jackson, and he was basically saying that last year Jackson, maybe tried to do a little bit too much, tried to force some throws that he didn't need to make. And if he's, like Kim said, if he reels that in, I think the sky's the limit. And I also agree. I think Gallatin, if they keep performing the way that they've performed yesterday, I could absolutely see them challenging Green Hill for a region title. And it's not also just Jackson Strout. Those weapons that he has, that Coach Strout mentioned to me before the season started, Malachi Harper at running back might be one of the best running backs in this area. I mean, top 5 at least. He's the way that he was able to run the ball on Hendersonville, a tough Hendersonville team, was just amazing. And then you add Kayshawn Barksdale, just freak athlete on the outside. I think Gallatin is going to roll on this.
Yeah, I know Franklin won last week and they down Laverne. I'm still a little concerned with their offense at this early point of the season. They are incredibly young. And until last week, I think Tennessee commitment Luke Thompson was one of the few stars that had taken varsity snaps. So they've got some growth that they got to go through. I think they will continue to get better as the year goes on. Gallatin they have the horses, as Isaac was saying. I said it earlier. I really like Malachi Harper. I think he's electric on the ground and through the air. So, he can hurt you both ways. And if the line gives Strout time, he will just pick you apart. I was Isaac. I agree. I was really impressed with their offense, but I was also impressed with their defense at Hendersonville. They played really well. So I like Gallatin, especially at the early stage of the season here.
Yeah, first off, I just want to make it known that I was on the Gallatin bandwagon last year when I picked Jackson Stroop to take Mr. Football. And, that is one of the reasons why I did pick them. Another reason is because I'm on 24/7 hate watch with Franklin, but that's just my personal bias. But I do genuinely think this is going to be a very good game and a very close game, potentially the best game out of the top 10. And I was actually considering oh shoot, who do I pick? And then I realized, wait, it doesn't matter who I pick. I can just take Gallatin, and if Franklin's wrong, if Franklin wins, I can refuse to apologize. But it's going to be a very good game.
You got to learn. You got to be able to sleep at night, Tyson. So yeah, I get you.
Yeah, no, I couldn't sleep at night. I couldn't sleep at night with this. I can't talk that. Take a break.
All right, let's head to our next game. We're all rolling with the Patriots. They're taking on a Huntington, West Virginia team that finished as a state runner-up, losing by a point in that 4A Class 4, 4A championship, whatever they call it down there.
Yep. Semifinal, I believe.
It was a championship. From everything I read, it was a championship. Don't know a whole lot about them. They're meeting at the halfway point between the two schools in Kentucky, Scott's old stomping grounds. I just like Oakland. I think they're loaded. Cam hinted at it earlier. The Patriots are just kind of different.
This is a Huntington squad that went 11-2 last year. As Joe said, they lost by 1 point when their 2-point conversion was stopped with seconds remaining in the game. This team averaged 45 points a game on offense last year. but that's last year, and it's not Tennessee football, West Virginia football.
Yeah, and
I like Oakland's defense to challenge him and to be able to, and I think their offense can keep pace as long as they clean up the game, and they can't afford to make a habit of giving up 120 yards in penalties and expect to repeat like they did last week.
Yeah, you done a lot more research than what was needed, Scott. This is the facts, okay? This is exact words that was said post game. If we don't have those silly penalties, this thing isn't even close. True.
Mm-hmm.
That game's probably 42-14 last week against CPA without the penalties. It's that simple. It's that simple. I think Oakland went to Texas and beat a better Anna Texas team last year. I think Oakland has more weapons this year. I respectfully made it 34-21 for Huntington. This thing could get ugly.
Yeah, I just see this as I could have gone a higher score because when I was making this pick, I was thinking back to Oakland and Anna from Texas last year. Mm-hmm. So Oakland going up against a state champion. Very high scoring game, very close game for Oakland, but I think that just repeats here. I just was making these picks in a rush and just threw a score down.
Yeah, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I'm not picking against Kevin Creasy 2 weeks in a row. That'd just be insane.
I respect that.
Gotta respect that.
Yeah. Portland Liberty Creek is not in our top 10 games of the week for anybody asking. I think a lot of us like Portland in that one, though. So, had a couple of people ask about that one. So, West Virginia football is about like Indiana football, non-existent. Last time I checked, man, last time Oakland went up to Indiana, they lost. So, anyway, anywho. East Robertson JP2, another big game this week, fellas. We're all rolling with the Indians, and admittedly, this was a hard one for me to pick.
100%.
Yep.
I just neither team looked all that great last week. Both picked up wins against teams I think we thought they would roll past. So big bounce back week for one of these two programs. For me, this game being in Cross Plains is the difference.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is going to be a shootout. I like both teams' offensives. I think East Robertson's trying to replace quite a bit outside of their superstars. You know, they return Zach Groves. They return McNeil, I think is his name.
Yep.
On offense, Casey Young back at quarterback. Xavion Groves, wide receiver for the Indians, had a big night last week, 100-plus yards, touchdown. I think East Robertson does enough again to win at home. Early in the year, playing bigger opponents, a 4A team in Liberty Creek last week, and then a D2 AA team here in JP2. I really like this East Robertson team, and that's part of the reason why we moved them up in the rankings.
Well, I agree with both of you. This is it was really a tough game to call, but you got two good quarterbacks facing off in Isaiah Bratton and I'm drawing a blank. But
Casey Young.
Thank you. Yep. But I think the Indians got away with a victory just barely. With Liberty Creek, and that I'm like you, Joe. That just for week one, that was a little bit scary. But JP2 had a tough game against Lakeway Christian Academy, a team that I think went like 1-9 a year ago, and they haven't had I don't think they've had a winning season since 2020. So I think the Knights are trending in the right direction. I think it may take them a season to get there. I'm still high on them, but I think with East Robertson and those with Caleb with Brooks and Groves in the defensive backfield, it's going to be a lot harder for Batten to throw the ball around.
Yeah, with this game, I think the X factor it's going to be with East Robertson. It's going to be the same X factor that's going to be with East Robertson every week, and that's Zach Groves. not just the presence that he has on the defense, but like he was used last week against Liberty Creek. East Robertson's able to do with him, putting him on the offensive side of the ball, using him in the way that they do is just dangerous. It's not something that most teams can prepare for, and I think that's going to be the difference in this game.
This isn't one of our. Sorry, Tyson. Before you go, this isn't one of our top 10 games, but should be a really interesting matchup. I like Nolensville. I think they looked better against a better team. Summit struggled with Spring Hill. I don't think Summit's quite there yet. Nolensville, they got the guys. I think Oliver Bender probably in for a big game.
I think Summit's struggling with just really quick. I think Summit's struggling with Spring Hill is not a good look because there are years where Summit has not been good and they've blown Spring Hill out of the water.
Yeah.
East Robertson, JP2. I'd be lying if I said I knew a ton about JP2, but this feels like a toss-up to me. I think the two reasons I chose East Robertson is one, it's in Cross Plains, like y'all said, and two, my teammate Isaiah Groves would be really mad at me if I chose East Robertson or if I didn't choose East Robertson.
Yeah, and another reason why Tyson picked him, but he don't know it, is thank you, Coach Brooks and the staff, for bringing back the white helmets.
Yes.
Yep.
Speaking of helmets, since we're just talking about Nolensville and Summit, Nolensville, I disagree. I just disagree. I don't like the black.
Disagrees. He just disagrees.
Isaac's opinions are his and no one else's.
Oh, they're 100% mine. I disagree.
A game that basically none of us disagree on, but Cam's got to be different. Green Hill. We're all basically rolling with the Hawks. Paige, Cam, talk to us with your pick.
Yeah, I really like this offense. I think they found their quarterback last week, and Cameron Cruz had a really efficient night. I think it was 9 of 11. They got multiple running backs that can carry the ball. They were down 5 starters last week or so, we were told, and still found a way to beat a really good Giles County team. I think that Giles County team has a chance to make it to Chattanooga on that east side in 3A with Alcoa moving up to 4A. I think people are overlooking that. They're seeing that Page gave up 34 points and they're freaking out. Guys, Page scored 47. I don't know if they scored 47 all last year. Now, granted, they didn't need to, but Green Hill looked maybe the best outside of probably the best in our area, honestly, with the way that they beat Beach. And I know Coach Crouch is going to have his guys ready. I just like Page. I think they do enough offensively. They improve a little bit on the defensive side of the ball. I think they do enough offensively to win this game.
Well, Cam, it's not the. Oh, go ahead.
They're not in our coverage area, so I haven't really given this much thought. But I mean, two teams needing a win essentially, so should be a good one.
Shout out to Bobo from Shelbyville.
Cam, it's not the 47 points that excites me. What worries me is the 442 yards of offense that Page gave up. 179 yards on the ground with David Bridges, and Xavier Randolph had 250 through the air. That's what worries me about Page is that defense. Cannon Burrows can absolutely feast on that kind of defense. I think he might. Wow, that was loud.
I don't know how to turn the ringer off when I have my volume on.
I think, and that's what I'm liking about this is I just think that the Green Hill offense, if Page gives up that kind of yardage, Green Hill's going to make them pay.
Well, I would agree with you. Like if Green Hill has 400 yards of offense, Page is losing the game. I would say that right now. But I mean, they lost a lot on that defense side of the ball from last year. They did.
Yes, they did.
They had starters setting out, mainly Knight Wilson. I'm not sure if Knight Wilson's going to be ready to go for this game or not. If he is, that's a huge thing. That's a huge part of the game for this Page defense. And guess what?
Right.
The defensive coordinator is back. You got talent out there on the field last year for sure. Eric Hazard, Brendan Ains, et cetera, et cetera. The defense coordinator's back. He don't like to give up points. He don't like to give up yards. He's going to have his guys ready to go.
Cam, no defensive coordinator likes to give up yards. No defensive coordinator likes to give up points. I mean, the fact is that I think this team is going through a little growing pains. I think they'll be fine as the year goes on, but this is week 2, and I think Green Hill's offense, if this is Page's defense, I think Green Hill's offense has the advantage.
What Matt said. I mean,
sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
Cannon Burrows looks really, really good, and they got 2 really good running backs in Cartwright and Brogdon. And one thing we didn't really talk a whole lot about last week regarding Green Hill is their offensive line's nasty. They were beating up Beach, honestly, on both sides of the ball. So I just think Green Hill, I lean them. I think they're a little more established. I think this is a team still feeding off of that Beach loss. They realized what was wrong with them. They seemed to have figured it out. And giving up that many points on a Page defense, that it's a lot. I mean, it's weird to see that week 1. I just think Green Hill, I'll take their talent over Giles County's talent. And that Green Hill defense, they're nasty.
Yeah, basically exactly what Matt was saying. I was about to say that. I like Green Hill with their result against a pretty solid Beach team over Page against, I mean, obviously Giles County is solid, but definitely not to the level that Beach is. And don't get me wrong, I like Page. I think they're going to do good things this year. I just think Green Hill's just one step ahead of them.
Yeah, I mean, everything's pretty much already been said. I don't love that Page gives up more points in one game this year than they did all regular season last year. I get that you lose some insane production from players on your defense last year, Page, but if that's any indicator of what they have, I think Green Hill could make it ugly.
All right. Game number 9. Procon CPA, we're all rolling with the Lions. I thought, for me, this one was a little easier to pick, I think. I think Procon, they're rebuilding in a lot of ways. I know they reload, but they are rebuilding. It is what it is. CPA, they did what they did against Oakland. I just think CPA, a little more talented this year. It is what it is. I just think CPA is better.
I think both these teams have some questions in skill positions in different areas. CPA's quarterback making his second start now against Procon this week. And Procon trying to establish Marion Starnes again as the starting running back. They do not return a lot up front. CPA returns a lot up front. CPA is very good up front. I think CPA wins the game up front.
Yeah. Last week I did go against my mantra of not going against Ingle Merton. I escaped my head, but I'm not tempting fate again. I think the Lions come back in a big way. They just have the ability offensively to grind or do a quick strike. And I'm not convinced that Pearl's offensive line has gelled at the time being. I think that that spells trouble for LJ Funk. So I look for Preston Patterson to keep pressure on it, because I think CPA defense is I think much better than the NBA, and I think that you're really going to see CPA clamp down on the Firebirds.
Yeah, with CPA, like I said, when we were going through our season preview, I said that when you look at CPA's schedule and the easiest game on there is Procon, that's like a sign that you have one of the hardest schedules out there. Procon's still a good team. I think they're going to be really motivated after losing the NBA last week. CPA man still does exist. He still knows where I live, so I can't go against that. I will make it. I'm picking a closer game just because he let me down last week, but Yeah, I think that this game is going to be not like an easy game for CPA, but in comparison to the games that they have coming up against Tupelo and Archbishop Muller, it's they have to get a win this week.
Yeah,
Hey, go ahead.
I think exactly what Isaac was saying. Like CPA is better than NBA, and I also just think like the reason this is so close is like both teams are wearing new, dare I say, gimmick uniforms that they're probably not going to wear ever again. And I feel like that could end up being a distraction for one of the teams, and I feel like just chaos could ensue. Maybe Pro Cone gets distracted by CPA's light blue and lets off the gas. Who knows?
Yeah, let's talk about those uniforms because what are our thoughts?
That's
Disgusting.
well, that's
Right.
part of the high school connect game that I think the Titans are sponsoring. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a pilot program. I believe it's supposed to bring communities together. But yeah, those.
Yeah.
Those
Great idea.
Titans,
I'm sure Tyson would agree with me. I would have liked to seen them change CPAs a little bit different. Maybe instead of doing purple numbers and a purple collar, do some gold numbers and gold collar. I think Tyson would really like that. Go ahead.
I'll have to see it in person, but at least from like the more I've like run it back in my head, I don't like Pro Cones. I don't really see what they're doing there. CPA, they just keep like CPA's normal uniform. They just make it light blue. I think it works. Like you see Florida State, New Mexico, whenever they wear the turquoise, like it doesn't work, but it works. And I feel like CPAs has started to like really grow on me. I just don't really see the purpose why they did it.
I think it was just to tie it in with the Titans, because if you look at Pearl's uniform, the black numbers are outlined in that Columbia blue, which is really odd when the rest of the uniform is gray and red.
Yeah.
And black.
Good idea. Could have been better execution.
All right.
Hey, we're fashionistas.
Yeah. Yes, we are. The Procom kids commented on our thoughts. We'll see. I agree with Tyson. CPA is better than NBA. You got to show it. It's one of those things when you lose to a team week one and you think of yourself as a good team, you got to prove it to us after a loss like that. CPA lost to arguably one of the top two teams in the state by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and for the Pearl-Cone kids, it's real simple. Y'all know we stand on business too. Go earn it, and we'll apologize next week.
Yeah. And our
Hey,
Scott.
hey, I was just going to ask any thoughts. Marcelli Smith had asked about Siegel versus Lebanon. Anybody got any thoughts on that?
Not really.
Lebanon probably wins by a few scores. Siegel, good win last week against Cookeville. I thought Lebanon's win was more impressive against a Nolensville team with a really good receiver and Oliver Bender. So I would think Lebanon wins by a couple scores.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Lebanon is a little bit better team. I think Siegel's improving, but we're only in week one, so there's a lot of football to play.
All right. That brings us to our spotlight game of the week. It's Nashville Christian and Innsworth. And boys, I'm in a mood tonight. I'm dealing with tech support, pissing me off, plain and simple. And you know what also made me mad is picking this game.
Same.
I didn't know where to go. I leaned Nashville Christian one day, and then I thought about it the next day, and I thought, man, Innsworth's really good. That 31-6 win over Whitehaven's really impressive. And you talk about a game loaded with future Division I talent. Jared Curtis, TJ Ward, we know about those guys. But then you got the likes of Justin Hopkins and Taylor Hasselback and
Ashton Coles.
Yeah, all these guys, Innsworth's just always loaded. And I really thought about it. And you guys saw last week, I got masks. I'm doing headgear and whatnot. And I really liked this eagle mask I got. I really like it, actually. It fits over my head really well. It's not a bad mask. I'm not wearing it this week, though. I'm rolling with the Tigers.
That's even better.
Yeah, I could reveal
this one. I'm all about the Tigers. It doesn't fit as well as the Eagle mask, but I'm rolling with the Tigers this week. I think their defense for Innsworth, you keep this game close. You keep it a low-scoring game. Low scoring as in you keep Nashville Christian in the high 20s, low 30s, you win this game.
It looks like you're about to go into a production of Cats, the musical.
Hate that. Absolutely hate that. Movie. I'm rolling with the Tigers. I like Innsworth a lot this week. I would do my whole spiel, but I'm honestly in a foul mood. So let's check everybody else's picks out in a second. But Scott, which cat was it this week making the pick?
Sundance, you ready to make a pick? You ready? Okay, let's make a pick.
And here comes Sonny to make his pick. And he's come over and he has chosen Nashville Christian, which has left Butchie with Innsworth. But it's Sonny's turn, and he chooses Nashville Christian. Good job, Sonny.
Cat, not picking Cats.
Scott, you got to set him in the middle because he started off.
I did. He was started in the middle. He walked to the left in the camera.
He was just that. He was that sure about it.
Cat's gonna cat.
Cat's gonna do what he.
All right, guys, we're fairly split on this one. We're evenly split on this one. Chris and Cam, I'm going with the pick to try to take a lead here, boys. That is not the score I predicted. Chris is sick. It's whatever. 31-30. It was my pick with Innsworth. For the guys that picked Nashville Christian, give me your spiel. Somebody.
Who, me?
Anybody that picked Nashville Christian.
Well, I'm gonna be sick.
I think we find out in this matchup just exactly how good this Eagle team is. We know they're the best in, D2 single A, but can they beat good teams in AAA? I think this is the put up or shut up game. I think this is a game Nashville Christian's been waiting for, a chance to really show just how good they are. And I think this offense is really, really tough. I do think Nashville Christian may have the best talent across the board. I know depth may be a factor, but I do like the Eagles in this game. And I think it'll be close, but I like Nashville Christian and Jared Curtis in this game.
Cam?
You said it made you mad. It makes me sick. This game is by far, in my opinion, the best looking game in the 615 this week, hence the spotlight game of the week. You have talent all over the field on both sides of the ball. However, if you look, most of us have this being a lot of points. Anything over 30 points in high school football is quite a bit of points. Yes. If that happens, Nashville Christian has more weapons than Innsworth on offense. I think they find a way to get it done. Jared Curtis, top 5 player in the country. TJ Ward, 4-star running back. And then you got Grigsby, you got Zane Crampton, you got Bryson Holt. Add another one. They have more. They have a ton of dudes. In the preseason, we had them top 10 in our area, and we had a couple people in our comments laughing at us. This game proves those people wrong. If Nashville Christian wins this game, whoever you were, I'd have to look back and see your username. You need to be on the show next week telling all of us you're sorry. It's that simple because this is as Scott said, this is the prove it game for Nashville Christian. Last year they had that game against BGA, came up a touchdown short. Jared didn't play his best in that game. He played good, but didn't play great. This is the type of game where Jared comes out and plays great.
I don't believe in moral victories. I think that's a awful way to look at things. But I agree with you that if Nashville Christian can win this game, that's a statement win right there. I still think that even a close loss in this game would be very respectable for Nashville Christian. I'm not saying that TJ and Jared aren't going to get their numbers. They're going to get their numbers, and not many people are going to be able to stop them from getting the stats and the scores that they can put up. It's just at the end of the day, for me, I got to look at depth. That's one of the most important things for me when looking at a game. And yeah, I think probably Nashville Christian has better top of the line talent, better starting talent. But if this game gets tough, if this game goes long, when it gets tired, I think I gotta rely on the depth.
One more thing to mention. The front seven on defense for Innsworth. They replace a lot up front in those front seven. That favors Nashville Christian and TJ Ward in that rushing attack.
Yeah, but they also just shut down Christopher Talley last week. So I don't understand this notion that they shut down Whitehaven, a 6A offensive line, and Christopher Talley. He didn't score until the final play of the game on an absolute freaking busted play. So, I mean, I get what you're saying, but we'll see. We'll see.
You picked a 1-point game.
I know. I told you I had difficulties, but actually I didn't. Yeah, I mean, I said 31-30, but I this notion that the defense last week is not. It's not as bad maybe as what people thought, and you get this. This is by far the best secondary Jared Curtis is going to play all year. It could go either way. Where I'm leaning here for me is Nashville Christian not being able to stop Innsworth's ground game. It's simple as that. Their front seven. This will be the biggest challenge they face all season. EJ Gibson absolutely run through your teeth. It'll be a good game. This is the game that a healthy Chris and Kevin will be at. It'll be a monster of a game. They'll be a fun one. I mean, the fact that we're getting this week 2 is amazing. First ever meeting between these two teams. Sorry. It should be a lot of fun. It's going to be a packed out crowd, I would assume. So.
And we talked about all the skill guys in this matchup. We'd be remiss in what you just said, the Innsworth rushing attack, a matchup to watch. Ashton Cole's starting tackle for Innsworth versus Colin Romero, a defensive end there for Nashville Christian. That is a previous all-region selection at White House Heritage versus a kid that went to middle school at White House Heritage. So that's going to be a pretty intriguing matchup to watch in that matchup.
Oh, God. What am I doing? Scott, that's something. That is certainly something. That is a look. So
you were in Philadelphia too long.
Yeah, I mean, everybody seems. I mean, Nashville Christian could win. I won't be shocked either way. I just, for some reason, I just really lean towards Innsworth. I don't know what it is. For anybody asking, we have talked about Portland and Liberty Creek multiple times now. It's not in our top 10 games. It will be a decent game, I think. I will take Portland.
I think most of us did.
Good Lord.
I think so. It was, but I think it'll be closer than. I think Liberty Creek is making strides, so I think it'll be closer.
Y'all still sleeping on Indy?
Maybe so. Maybe so. Go win again this week against a Lincoln County team that knocked off Marshall County and the reigning 4A Mr. Football winner last week. So, yeah, it's a good show, guys. I think, Joe, you ready to head into the last word?
Yeah. I'm trying to click the thing. It ain't working. Yada, yada, yada. We'll start with Tyson, your first episode back this season. Go ahead and give us your final word.
Shoot, it's a lot of pressure. There's so much I could talk about here.
Put you on the spot.
Yeah. Not in our top 10, but I do think even in a down year, I think Lipscomb Ravenwood is a great game to watch. It's one of those games where, like, yeah, I'm intentionally picking against Ravenwood, but I do feel like there's substance behind that pick.
Did you
Also,
really?
yeah, I picked Lipscomb. That was mainly me just going for a lone wolf pick. JC White, he played pretty well considering the circumstances last year against Ravenwood with Brentwood. But yeah, college football officially starts this weekend. We got our first game down in Murfreesboro. Yeah, it's going to be a really fun year. I'm really excited for high school and college.
All right. Let's go with who wants to go next? Scott, you'll go next. How about that?
Well, it's early in the year, so it's time for me to put on the hat again and ask everybody to pass the hat. No, we really need sponsors. I know you guys get tired of hearing me say that, but I can't say it enough. It's how we keep this thing running. And I apologize that I have to put it out there, but I do. I would be remiss if I didn't. And again, it goes to things like equipment. It goes to things like our subscriptions. I mean, this platform that you see us on costs money. So sponsorship is where we're at. We do not want to go behind a paywall. It is against our everything that we decided we wanted to do. We wanted to make this free for everybody. We will be as long as I can possibly maintain it. Okay, so that's my speech. I'm not going to say any more in the show about it. Week 1 was great. We met a lot of great people. Got to see a lot of hopeful programs. A lot of kids out there that we enjoyed meeting, and that to me is the joy of it, is getting out there and meeting the fans, talking football with the fans, talking with the coaches and the kids, and really just celebrating high school sports. It's wonderful. It's a great thing, and in this world that is so crazy, it's one of those few things that is still somewhat pure and somewhat wholesome, to be able to look at your neighbor and talk about football and kids and things like that, and it really puts a bow on the end of the week and really makes you hopeful going into the weekend. And for that, I thank you. And if I see you out there, come up and say hi. Come up and say hi to us. Speak with us. Let us know what you think. Give us your suggestions. We're open to everything. So thank you for watching. Thank you for reaching out to us. We really appreciate it. Enjoy.
Yeah, I'll go. This moment is it's kind of a personal, like, feel good story for me. But Friday night was able to cover Oakland CPA. Actually, my cousin, her son Connor is our intern. So my cousin's son is helping us out, and to see her taking pictures of him and video of him while he's doing our post-game interviews was a pretty cool little thing for me. I definitely took that moment in. That goes the same for all the parents, players, nephews, cousins, all of the above. Go out and watch a game. Take in those moments. Those are what we live off of the rest of our lives as young adults and teenagers and et cetera. I still flash back all the time to my high school days at the real place, Trousdale County, and really cherish those memories with friends and family, and take it all in, experience it. We only have 15, 16 weeks in the regular season, in the full season for football. So it'll be over before you know it. Just take everything that you can in. As Scott said, we need sponsors. I'm tired of hearing it, but it is what it is. We take great pride in being the only media outlet not behind a paywall. Please help us keep it that way.
Yeah, like Scott mentioned, whenever we're out at games, it's awesome to like interact with people. The first time that I've ever been recognized for being on this show was at Gallatin last week. That was really cool. Someone yelled my name, and I turned around like, "Why are you talking to me?" They said, "We watched the show." So if you're watching now, I didn't get your names, but nice meeting you. But yeah, this week is going to be really really fun. It's going to be an amazing 2 days for me. Um, I'm really excited to get out and cover some more high school football, and it's the start of college football, so it's going to be amazing. Vanderbilt hosting Charleston Southern, so that's going to be a great game. Also, we didn't get mentioned, but big rivalry game this week with Watertown and Gordonsville. Shout out Watertown. It was always Purple Tigers. Purple Tigers have been not Purple Tigers, so there's that. And yeah, I'm just incredibly excited for this season. The weather is finally, I mean, it's probably going to change because it's Tennessee, but the weather is finally starting to feel a little cool. It's going to be great. And yeah, I just can't thank y'all enough for supporting us, watching us, and, you know, just being there for us all throughout the season. So yeah.
To quickly address this, we got to have a much bigger crew, and we got to get sponsorships to even consider anything like this. We're 615 preps. We are not TN preps. We keep up with as much of the state as we can. We're just guys doing this. We have full-time jobs. This is not our full-time job.
And to expand on that, that is the dream. That's the goal. To have enough sponsors, to have a 931 preps, a 901 preps, 865 preps. That's the goal. But we need a lot of help to do it.
Yeah. As for my final word, sorry, I'm in a foul mood. I'm currently working on the Springfield project. It actually, last night, it deleted. All my stuff deleted. I had to completely redo the episode. So I've been trying to get all that figured out. I have it made. I'm just trying to get it on this hard drive that's not connecting to my laptop. Anyway, frustrating to say the least, but I'm happy we have football. I'm really excited for Battle for the Bridge on Friday. Into the Hive, it will come out tomorrow night at 7. Hell or high water, I will get it out. Love to Hate, Isaac's been working on that. He'll be wrapping that up soon, I believe. Watertown, I do believe our Watertown Small Town project's almost done as well. And then we filmed Macon County last week. So we got a lot of stuff coming, guys. I do want to personally thank you all for helping us get over the 20,000 mark on Instagram last week. We did it before Friday, which was amazing. It was awesome. We need sponsorships. If you know anybody that can help out, have them help us out. Anything's appreciated. We do this for the love of the game. And it's the best time of the year. I mean, college football's back. My Notre Dame Fighting Irish about to go win a natty. Cam's Tennessee ball is about to go 8-4. Isaac's Vandy, forgot what they were called, about to win 2 games. And then Kentucky, do they even have a football team? So, but on a real note, appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Big week 2 matchups. Innsworth Nashville Christian, the biggest of the week. And you'll see us out and about. Say hi. No Thursday game. Well, we have one Thursday game this week, debating on who will be there, if anybody will be there. But as for me, I am Joe, Isaac, Scott, Cam, Tyson, for a very sick Chris. Wishing him nothing but the best. Stay tuned for more content throughout the week, and enjoy week 2, everybody.